Hello, thank you for joining me. Today it's pick a card. We've got three tarot decks here. So what I've got here is tarot deck number one. We've got a piece of amethyst. Tarot deck number two, we have a piece of rose quartz. And tarot deck number three, we've got a piece of citrine. So look to see which one calls you, which one you're attracted to. Is it the amethyst, the rose quartz, or the citrine? So it's deck one, deck two, deck three. So I've shuffled these cards up already to make it a little bit quicker. I'm just going to move these out of the way. I'm going to deck number one first, the amethyst. So if you're drawn to this deck, this is your card. And here we've got the Ten of Pentacles. This is the Witch's deck by Ellen Duggan. The tens are a completion. So if you think the minor arcana is like 1 to 10, and then you've got the four court cards, 10 is the highest of the pit cards, so it's the end of something, it's completion. But you can see there as well, it's like a family scene, and you've also got the older generation, you've got the new generation as well, and also the additions to the family, the furry additions. Now this card is saying to you that we're coming to the end of something, and or it could be you yourself that's coming to the end of some kind of project, some kind of a work that you've been doing or working on, something that you're working on. It's not time just to look around for new projects, new work, but it's also time to look at the old generation and take advice and suggestions from them. And you can see on this particular card that older man there is, it's almost like a bit of magic, isn't it? He's lighting a flame, like a bit of a spark there, entertaining the baby. I think you can just see it there, if it's not too blurred. And so yeah, it's telling you to take advice from the older generation. This is when we need to listen to the people who've been before us, all these so-called old wives' tale that the media and various other people tell us to ignore. When in fact they call them old wives' tales, which is really patronising and disrespectful, when a lot of these things actually work. A lot of these things that the elder people can tell us are really good for us, and so that they can tell us how to grow our own veg, for instance. I mean, I put a card on the website on Facebook, the Divination Astrology group, recently about the GM crops and the way that they are altering the chemical compositions in the plants, and that, you know, this isn't good for us. It's killing our vitamins and minerals that we get from plants. It's killing the medicine that we get from plants. So we need the older generation to remind us how to grow things. They're excellent at growing veg in their gardens. Learn from them. Grow your own veg. Get rid of the pesticides. Get rid of all the poisons. Get rid of all that stupid GM stuff that does nobody any good whatsoever. And grow your own stuff. Put good fuel into your body, not the bad fuel. These poisons are what's killing people. It's what's causing these viruses. It's all these poisons that are making people ill, that are making people put on weight. All these poisons, it's poisoning our soil, it's poisoning us. We need to go back to the past. We need to go back to our roots, and we need to do things properly. And this is what this card is telling you. You have the opportunity to go out into nature and go back to your roots, learn to grow things. This card is showing you a lovely home. You've got help, you've got advice from the older generation. It's their wisdom that can carry us through. The dog also represents friendship and support. And so that also shows you've got friendship and support around you, with the dog sitting there, or lying there I should say, with the baby. It's protection as well. So that is a lovely card. It's also saying with the coins at the top, I get the feeling there that you've got to watch what you're spending, put it into your home, into your family. Don't give it to these people who are selling poisons. Don't give them your money. You give enough away as it is in tax and council tax and all this ridiculous stuff. Don't give it to people who are just handing you poisons in return. Invest your money into yourself and your family and put it into something good. And you need good fuel, you need good food. There's plenty of websites out there that can tell you what kind of food to get rid of, what kind of poisons are in food. Loads and loads of resources available. So take a look at that, and you should have a good immune system. Your body is like a machine. So when we get ill, our body has all the resources in it that can actually heal it. But the thing is, if we're putting in the wrong food, the wrong fuel that's covered in poisons and is full of genetically modified crap, then we are not going to be able to heal ourselves. It's as simple as that. So that's card number 1. Now I'm going to go to card number 2. So for anybody who picked card number 2 or deck number 2 with the rose quartz, this is the Shaman Tarot, and here we've got the Ace of Drums. Okay, so for anybody who picked card number 2, this is the Ace of Drums, and the drum's a bit like a heartbeat, aren't they? It's telling you whether you're ill or whether you're well, if your heart is beating properly. But also that beating of the heart, it goes right through the earth as well. When you go into nature, it's almost like you can hear the heart beating of nature as well, and you can see the trees in the background there. So this card is telling you get out into nature more. People who chose this card, you need to spend more time out of doors. Maybe you need a bit of sun. If we don't get vitamin D from the sun, it can make us feel ill. And they've also said that vitamin D, when it's lacking in the body, people are getting this COVID, this coronavirus. So vitamin D is very important for us, and we get that from the sun. So if you spend a bit more time outdoors, just sit in your garden for half an hour if you can, or 10 minutes even a day. Do a bit of meditation out in the garden. But also, if you've got a park near you, go to the park, go and have a walk around the park. Just get yourself into nature, get yourself out of doors. This is also a card with the drumming there. This is also a card that's saying to me, if you're listening to music, just make sure that you're listening to 432 hertz, because they changed the hertz of the music in the late 1800s, and it used to go with their heartbeat, but now it doesn't. So if you can find music for 432 hertz, you'll find that you're feeling a lot more comfortable with it, because you've got your heartbeat in the background. So if you have a look for that, there's plenty again on the internet. YouTube have got loads of 432 hertz music, so take a look at that. What else am I picking up from this card? Well, it's an ace, so the ace is always new beginnings. Now, again, this lockdown's coming to an end soon. I've always said right from the start that it'll go in spring. We've had a lot of lies given to us. This virus, no mask is going to stop you from catching or preventing a virus. The masks are absolutely ridiculous. They're of no use whatsoever. Now, this virus has been traced back to the lab, so if it was natural, it wouldn't mutate in so many different strains so quickly. It might mutate a year later into a new strain, but I mean, how many strains have they got now? I heard somebody say 24 or something stupid like that. I don't know how true that is, but every time I'm passing a newspaper stand or I hear somebody talking, they've got yet another new strain. No virus mutates that quickly. This is just absolutely nonsense. But this is coming to an end soon, and we need to start from scratch. We need to get back into nature. We need to get back to our roots. And this card is also telling you go with your heartbeat. Listen to your intuition. Do what's right for you. And also with this card, I'm picking up because it's so applicable to the heartbeat, the drumming. I would say for those people who wanted card number 2, just make sure that you're doing everything to keep your heart in good immunity, good health. Do a bit more exercise. Maybe you're sitting at home under this lockdown and you're not doing much exercise, so get out of doors a bit more. Go for a walk, because walking will do you really good, and also you can think about some problems and stuff while you're walking. It's such a good way of relaxing the mind, but also while you're thinking of any problems or anything that you've got to sort out, walking is a really good way of bringing the answers, because you feel more relaxed. The answers can come to you easily. So try that, try walking, and think about what you're going to do once this lockdown is finished, because it will finish and it will all disappear, but we can't go back to what we were doing before. We have to change, because the next pandemic may be even far worse. So you need to listen to your heart, you need to listen to your intuition as well. Keep a balance between your head and your heart. Okay, so that is card number 2 for those of you who chose the rose quartz. Now I'm going to go to card number 3. This is the citrine. Okay, the citrine. This deck is the Pagan Cats. And this card is the Knave of Pentacles. I can just about see that one there. So for those of you who chose card number 3, you've got the Knave, or the Prince page. In some decks it's called, of Pentacles. There he is, he's got his paw on his queen. So what I'm picking up with this card is someone who does like the outdoors, somebody who spends quite a lot of time outdoors. So the people who went for card number 3, you're people who do normally spend time outside. You do like to be outside, you like the sun, you like the earth. You like to show people what you've done. You like to show people the progress that you've made, the plants, the flowers that you've grown, your vegetables. Maybe you're already somebody who grows vegetables. Okay, so you're somebody who, as I say, likes to be outside already. You also may be quite an active person. Maybe you exercise outdoors. So the people who chose this card will be the runners, the people who spend a lot of time, the runners, the joggers, the people who exercise in the parks, people who do a lot of walking. This is a card that that you guys would have chosen. And you're people who already eat well. You eat food that is not genetically modified. You eat a lot of fresh foods. And you can see in the background you've got the fields there. But you also are somebody who likes to play. So this Kitty, the farmer, he's done everything with his veg. He's got everything right. Now he's in the fields with the flowers, playing with what could be a ball or a frisbee or whatever you want to call it. So this is somebody as well who spends a lot of time with fun and games. You probably get on well with children, enjoying their games. Maybe you enjoy games of football in the park with the kids. Now, I don't know if you can see it, well, there's a lot of yellow on this card, and the background is also yellow. I think you can just about see that it's very pale yellow. You've got yellow flowers in the bottom there, and yellow is a colour. When it's used on tarot cards, it's a colour that represents a link to divinity, and animals have that link to source, as we call it. Well, we can give it any kind of name, can't we? Source, divinity, God, creation, evolution, the universal spirit. Any name that you want to give it, it's all the same. It's like an energy force that surrounds everything. And when you see yellow in the tarot card, that is indicating a link to that source. And there we have it there, because nature is linked to the source automatically. Trees, plants, they're all linked to source. Animals are linked to source. When we are born, our babies are linked to source. But then, unfortunately, we are, because of society and the way we're brought up, we have that link separated. It's cut. That's why a lot of people, when they're searching for truth or searching for answers, what they're doing is actually looking to regain that link to source. But we have it broken in many ways. Straight away when we're born, babies are slapped on the backside to cry. They have pipes and everything shoved down their throat and their nose. Some the boys are taken for circumcision, and apparently that's not done with any anaesthetic. They're strapped down, and some of those babies actually pass out. So these are all things that make us separate that link, so cut that link to source. Now, animals and plants and trees, they still have that link. And if you chose card number 3, you're also on the way of getting that link back. Some of you may already be there, but you're people who are quite spiritual, and I don't mean religious, because you don't need to follow any kind of religion. In fact, a lot of religions are culpable in breaking that link. Things like that you hear in the church when you go in there, for instance, this is the only way to get to God, the only true way to get to God. No, it's not. There are many, many ways to get to that source. Many ways, and you don't have to go through Christian church to do it. So that is a lie, and it's also that's saying this is the only one true way to get to God that you hear in churches. That is a lie. It's also a way of being or of making people prejudiced towards other people who are not following that particular path. So you're actually better off finding that link to source yourself rather than going through these institutions. These institutions are quite bad in cutting that link. They've a lot of prejudice. They have a lot of things to answer for, and they've been guilty of the most horrendous crimes against humanity through the centuries. But anyway, enough said there. To say, if you chose card number 3, you're on a spiritual path. You know that nature is divine, nature is linked to source, and you can feel it when you go in there, when you go outdoors, when you go into the park. You can feel that link that nature has, and it boosts you. but you also like to play, as I say, so you've got hopefully quite a nice balance there. But don't ever lose it, because society is going to try and make you lose that link. They try and stop you. Yeah, they try and stop you. They put blockages on everything, don't they? You can't go in the parks at the moment because of COVID, so you can't go in there. You can't exercise in the park. And I know people who live by Cannock Chase, and they wanted to go for a walk. The family, this is just a family going for a walk, and they were stopped. Why are you in the chase? We're going for a walk. We live here. Oh no, you can't do that, said the police. We didn't know that. They said, well, the police said, no, you can't go for a walk in the chase. It is closed to the public. We're under lockdown. Yes, so being out of doors, apparently you were not 6 feet away if you go to the Cannock Chase or a park. Apparently it is a criminal offence to go a walk around the park or go a walk in Cannock Chase or somewhere like that. Absolute nonsense. So don't allow them to stop you. And I think this goes for any cards who you know, anybody who picked any of these cards. Do not allow people to stop you going out for a walk and going into the park. You need to get out into nature. It is not a criminal offence to go to the park. It is not a criminal offence to go through Cannock Chase. It is a public place and it is not closed. And there is no crime against it. Look it up. There is no crime. They cannot fine you. And if they do fine you, then go to court, because it will be thrown out, because it is not a criminal offence. Okay, so that's the 3 cards for today. And let's put that one back. Hope you liked it. And come back next time. We'll have some more. I might have 3 different packs next time. Thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave your comments in the bottom, subscribe, and you'll get notified when there's another one out. And have a look at my other videos as well, because I also do videos showing you the different packs. The 3 that I've just used there, they're all on video, so you can see the rest of the cards as well. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.